going on, Cancer placements? Welcome back to my channel, Elev8te Your Energy. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader, as well as your eclectic spiritual consult. This is going to be your reading for the week ahead. So from whenever you see this reading, it's when it is meant for you. My readings, as always, are timeless unless otherwise specified. This is not one of those times, though. So whenever you find this message is when the message is meant for you. All right. So from when I am recording this, we do have a new moon that is on January 29th. So that is next Wednesday. So let's see. Spirit, what sign should Cancer be looking out for at this time? What are they seeing? So we have a new moon coming up on January 29th in the sign of Capricorn, and that is from Vedic astrology. I'm not sure what sign it's in for. I feel like it may be Aquarius, but it doesn't actually go into Aquarius until 2 days afterwards. So I believe that it's in Aquarius just because of my best friend's birthday is on the 22nd, which is actually tomorrow. So I feel like it's, if you follow Western astrology, it's in the sign of Aquarius, but it's actually in the sign of Capricorn. So just something to keep in mind. So I'm just going to leave that there. So we do have infinity at the bottom for you, Cancers. Some of you may be seeing infinity symbols. Some of you may be seeing the car. That may be a car you're interested in. Maybe a dream car for some of you, infinities, or you may be seeing that type of model car all over the place. Okay. I feel like that's kind of like Spirit's way of letting you know that you're, infinitely creative. You're limitless. You are a limitless being. The limits that you have are only the limits. The only limits you have are those that you impose upon yourself. I feel like that was important for somebody to hear, to remember. Spirit for Cancer. What is the message for the week ahead? What do they need to know? If you guys did enjoy the North Node readings that I did, I believe the last series of readings that I did, if you guys did enjoy those, please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on those so I can know what to continue to, as well as obviously what I'm being guided to do, but what to, record more for you guys. Last shuffle. Spirit for Cancer. What do they need to know for the week ahead, please? And this is, like I said, for all Cancer placements. So wherever you're watching for Cancer in your chart, this is where that's for. So, all right. Why do we have exchanging gifts? Interesting. So I feel like this is Spirit's way of like reminding you that you don't have to, imagine. You can get whatever it is that you put your mind to, whatever it is that you imagine for yourself. That's what it is that you get. Basically, the energy you put out is what you receive. So if you're putting out an energy of lack, if you're putting out an energy of I don't have enough, or I'm not abundant, or I'm always, struggling, then that's exactly what you're going to receive in return. Okay, with this exchanging gifts. But if the Spirit is trying to let you know that you are infinitely creative, okay, it does feel like Spirit is trying to send in some sort of support for you at this time, Cancers. Some of you may not even see this. It feels like this is a hidden energy. So this is something that maybe you've only imagined or maybe only saw in your mind's eye, but maybe it's actually is now starting to come into fruition this week ahead. That's what you're seeing. Others of you, this is what Spirit is asking you to do. Okay. If this isn't something that you've been actively setting out the intention for, then that first message isn't for you. Okay. This message is, I feel like, for those of you that maybe haven't really been being as active, with your visualization, with your, being intentional with your day, with the way you start your day, things like that. This is where Spirit is saying, like, we're trying to co-create with you. There's things that Spirit is trying to help you do at this time. Okay. It's like your needs are always met. You're always provided for. It's destined for your needs to be provided for. It's destined for you to have support that you need here, Cancer, but it's also important that you imagine yourself able to have that. Okay, that's how powerful you are. If you envision yourself being lonely and struggling, not having any support, not having any help, being by yourself, completely alone, that's exactly what you're going to manifest. On the flip side to that, though, if you envision yourself being surrounded by love and friends and genuine people and beautiful divine opportunities, you're going to as well, you're going to see that as well. Okay, so dead leaves and plants. Interesting. So some of you Cancers, maybe this is what I feel like some of you are seeing a lot of at this time. It may be feeling like things around you are just dying, where it's like some of you maybe usually haven't had any issues with maybe your plants being like a plant mom or dad, whatever. But some of you lately have been experiencing where it just seems like you can't keep nothing alive. Like even some of you maybe bought new plants and they just seem to die no sooner than you get them. That is, very symbolic for, I feel like, obviously a multitude of different reasons depending on, who's listening. So some of the keywords for this card is the end of a season slash era, letting the old fall away, make room for the new, declutter space, clear energy, blocked slash stunted growth, infertile environment, composting, autumn, death, rebirth. Okay, so some of you, Cancers, this is your indication that you guys are going through maybe a major transition in life, a major transformation, where some of you are shifting timelines in a major way, where it's like you're essentially being asked to leave the old. That's what I feel like this the dead leaves here is for you, is about letting the old life fall away to make room for the new life. Okay, releasing the old things that you were used to doing, the old ways of thinking, being, whatever that is that you've outgrown, that's outdated, so you can allow in the new life that some of you have been imagining, that you've been only dreaming about. It's ready to come into your experience. It's like spirit is ready to give this to you. Spirit is ready to give you all the support that you need. The help that some of you have been looking for is destined. It's your time. Okay, but some of you are being asked to really let go of the things that are trying to fall away at this time. Some of you are being reminded that's how close you are, Cancer. You're like maybe so close to where it looks like, depending on how you're looking at it, right? It looks like I'm like my fingers are closed, right? But they're really not. So you see how the angle, how some of you are being asked to shift your angle. So you can see how it's like some of you, because of how close you are to the situation, you can't tell that you're as close as you are, right? Some of you need to, maybe like back zoom out of your situation, and it'll help you open up to see how close you really are to what it is you're manifesting. Okay, some of you are you're just not seeing it yet. Okay, I just saw the Empress that fell and I put it back because I didn't shuffle yet. But some of you, this is, reminding you, Cancer, of how abundant you really are. Some of you, that is exactly what this is indicative here of. Here is, with this exchanging gifts and a leg up, it's like the universe is trying to help you. It's like all this support that is coming in for you, Cancer, it's destined, it's fated. Okay, it's happening exactly when and how it needs to. You've co-created this with the universe. This is, your needs are always met and provided for. This is being basically swimming in the land of milk and honey, being, living a life of luxury, a life of comfort, right? That's what's trying to come in for you at this time. But you have to, again, you have to allow it. Some of you, this is like, saying like, this is what's available to you. And if you feel like it's not coming in, Spirit is telling you, imagine it, envision it. Okay. The things that are falling away from you at this time, it's happening for a reason, because it's trying to get you to envision what the life that you want in its place. So for example, for all those that like lost their homes in LA, okay, my condolences, my sending my all of my empathy, my strength, and my love to you, to all those that are, struggling with that, that are have been directly impacted. But understand, this is spirit reminding you as well, that where all that, debris now is, what can you rebuild in its place? What space did that clear for you to make room to build something new, maybe a more solid foundation in its place, to maybe do things that you imagined. Okay, maybe do things over, giving you, now it's like something is cleared out to where it's like, yeah, it didn't maybe happen how you wanted it to, but it happened how it needed to clear the space basically for you to now build how you imagined it to be, build how you envisioned it, how you wanted it in the first place, or how you would have done it in the first place, right? So let's see. So let's see what else is going on for Cancer for the week ahead as it pertains to the spread for Cancer placements. Yes. What else for Cancer? What's going on? What they need to know for the week ahead as it pertains to this spread. Beautiful. Ooh. I feel like this is going to be really powerful, you guys. It's overall outcome, please. For Cancer placements. I feel like there's just endless possibilities, Cancer, and it's a matter of what are you willing to, release, to allow it. Look, the Death card. The Death card is at the bottom. Okay. Justice in reverse. So So we have the Lovers, first card out, major arcana for Gemini, the Hierophant, another major arcana for Taurus, followed by the Magician, major arcana for Virgo and Gemini. Okay, so some of you may be dealing with those signs that may be of significance, but I find it fucking interesting, Cancer, that literally all major arcanas are here, including at the bottom of the deck, the Death card. This is card for Scorpio, which we just talked about in this card as well. This very last keywords that are mentioned, and this is two very different decks. This is the tarot deck, and this is the deck that I personally put together, Signs and Synchronicities Oracle deck. Okay, so two cards talking about death and rebirth. Okay, like I said, the ending of an old cycle, of an old era. This feels huge, though. This is huge, Cancer, which I already felt that anyway. But major arcanas in the tarot represent the events in our life that we can delay or try to push off as much as we like, but they're going to come regardless, and they're going to hit, typically they're pretty intense, right? And given that you have literally all major arcanas here, and there's 5 in total, fives represent change, major change, conflict at times. Okay, so some of you, this is spirit reminding you that this is ultimately something you've manifested. Okay, some of you may be in a marriage or some type of connection or relationship that you've been committed to, and it may be ending. Okay. And it's really because it's making room for the life that you actually imagine. For some of you, it's like you've outgrown a relationship. Some of you have outgrown something you've ultimately committed yourself to. And, so whatever is falling away at this time or falling apart, essentially seeming like it's falling apart to fall together because this is what you've manifested. Okay, you have to realize that anything that, like, all the things that play out in our physical 3D experience, it already took place spiritually, energetically. Okay, so understand that whatever it is that you're experiencing externally is only because of the thoughts that you've thought of in the past, the thoughts that you had in the past, the energy you were exuding and putting out into the universe from the past. That is what's playing out in, currently. Okay, so it's like this is spirit saying that as this is falling apart, now's the time to envision what it is that spirit is going to put in its place. Okay, what gift is spirit going to give you in place of what it is that's being removed, what it is that's falling away or that's falling apart in your life right now, Cancer. Okay, it feels like for some of you it may seem like this, like whatever is happening is unfair. Okay, some of you, this may be happening at someone else's volition, meaning like you have no control over it, you don't really have much say so in whatever it is that's happening. But this is where, again, spirit is saying that this is ultimately what you manifested. Okay, this is it's like a contract that maybe you had with someone, a karmic contract. For some of you, it's played out its part. You've completed your role, and it's like you've done your part in the contract. You've played your role in the movie, so to speak. So now it's like it's time to move on to the next thing. Okay, and some of you, the way maybe this is ending is kind of like, damn, like you didn't want it to end that way. Even, how like sometimes movies, they leave us like on a cliffhanger and you're like, what the fuck, like it was a great movie and I loved what I did see of it, but I didn't want it to end yet, right? It's kind of like that's kind of what this feels like. But this is, again, where spirit is encouraging you to, now's the time to really envision what it is you want in its place. Like, yeah, it sucks that it ended the way that it did, or maybe this relationship just all of a sudden fell apart and you didn't see it coming. Spirit is wanting you to know that it's happening exactly as it needed to. Okay, you've learned. I feel like some of you, whatever this is about or regarding it, even this could be a job for some of you that you thought was so in alignment, but I feel like some of you learned your lesson far sooner than maybe your soul had initially planned, and to where that's why it feels like it's ending too soon, because it feels like some of you have learned your lesson a little earlier than you expected, a little earlier than your soul had initially, planned this out and signed up for. So that's not a bad thing. Okay, regardless, it just depends on how you choose to look at it. Okay, you can choose to look at it as a negative thing, or you can choose to look at it as, I've learned my lesson earlier than my soul is expecting, and so now that's why it's moving me forward. That's why it feels like something's unfinished. It's just because that's kind of like how it is when you graduate a class sooner than everybody else. You're kind of like just sitting there waiting for everybody else to catch up. That's kind of what this feels like. Okay, so spirit is saying, in this meantime, while you're waiting for everybody else to catch up, so to speak, you get ahead by imagining what it is you want in its place, right? While everybody's still, maybe like crying over spilt milk, so to speak, and what's gone, you're deciding, what, let me go ahead and envision what's coming in its place, what I want to experience on the other side of this, right? Spirit wants you to kind of like take that step ahead to move forward, right? So as other people start catching up and getting on board, that's when you're able to restore balance with yourself and as well as those around you. Help kind of get things back on track, right? So let's clarify, Spirit. What is the Lovers? Why is it here for Cancer? Why is the Lovers here? Why is the Lovers here for Cancer? Beautiful. Why is the Hierophant here? Like I said, some of you, this really feels like something that may have ended or is ending in this, like I said, this week ahead. It's ending because it's ultimately calling in something bigger, better that you're more ready for. That's, coming in its place. Okay. 4 of Cups with the 3 of Cups. Like I said, some of you are maybe feeling rejected or rejecting someone. Maybe someone's trying to come back into your experience, but it's like, again, you've learned everything you were supposed to learn from that connection. Okay. Like I said, so this could definitely be a lover, someone from your past, someone that's returning, and some of you may be turning this person down. Maybe some of you, this is someone that you wanted so long for them to come back, to return, to come back into your experience. And now that now that they finally have, because you've ultimately manifested that, right? After you stop caring about it, right? That's when they return. And some of you are like, I don't even want it anymore. Like, I'm good. And that could be, again, what you guys are, what some of you are rejecting here. Some of you are rejecting someone's, trying to spin the block. You're essentially like, no, I'm good. But like I said, for some of you, Cancer, this is regardless of what storyline resonates with you, this is major regardless. That does not take away from the 5 major arcanas that are right here, right now. Okay. So regardless of which storyline resonates with you, and it may be bits and pieces of each, this is going to be major. This is a major event for you, a major time in your life. Okay. Let's see. Clarify the Magician. Why is it here for Cancer placements, please? Why is the Magician? Oh, okay. So the Magician is clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. So 4, 4. So yeah, some of you, this is someone maybe has done magic or something to hold on to you, okay? Or try to keep you in their experience. And that could be another reason why some of you are being guided to let someone go or to reject someone, turn someone down in some type of ways, because it's your spirit team, your guides, your benevolent ancestors letting you know that someone has malicious intent. That's not for all of you, but for those of you that could be part of why you're being, guided to reject someone or turn someone down from coming back, because you're not aware of something they did behind the scenes that was unjust, that was unfair, that was maybe unjustified, unwarranted, that some of you are unaware of. Okay. And that's why some of you, like I said, are being guided to hold back from someone, because maybe someone is holding back from you, right? What they've been doing behind the scenes, which for some of you is magic, even if it's not burning candles or, chanting or, paying a practitioner, anything like that. It doesn't matter. Just spoken words is a spell in itself. Okay. So that's interesting. So like I said, Cancer, it feels like a major cycle for some of you is really trying to close right now. A major timeline shift is trying to happen right now. So if you're being guided to hold back from someone, especially someone that's maybe coming back into your experience that maybe you had a hard time letting go of before, you've learned everything you're supposed to learn from this connection. Okay. Now it's time to really manifest what it is that you want. Okay. So if there is someone in your experience, Cancer, that is trying to pull on your vibe for your attention, that's trying to pull on your energy, that's trying to get you to, take them back or let them back in, whatever that is, and you know good and damn well you're not supposed to, please listen to that. Please listen to your inner guidance, because it's not going to ever lie to you. It may not tell you what you want to hear, but it's always going to keep it real. Okay. Let's clarify. What is this Justice in reverse? Why is that in reverse for Cancer? Look, 8 of Cups. Okay. Like I said, whoever this is, Cancer, it's like somebody has done something that was unjust, something that was unfair behind the scenes. That's why you're being guided to walk away. I feel like some of you are being guided to just kind of like leave things where they are and just turn your back on the situation, because especially if you're feeling like all of a sudden, or it feels sudden to you, I feel like deep on a soul level it's not sudden at all. I feel like it's happening exactly how it was meant to happen. Okay. The Hierophant again at the bottom. Again, this is about lessons learned. Okay. You've learned everything that this situation was supposed to teach you. Okay. For some of you as well, this is about if you had, what I'm also getting here as well is that some of you may have family that have tried to pretend that they fuck with you, but they really don't. And so now that you guys are coming into this come up season, you're going to have people with their hand out. And some of you cancers are going to be guided to hold back from them. You're going to be guided to act like you don't have anything, to not help at all. Because there are going to be people that you're going to discover that were basically shitting on you when you were already down. And they're going to want, after you somehow manage to get yourself back up and back on track, they're going to have their hand out waiting, wanting your support in some type of way. And some of you are going to be like, no, I manifested this. I put in the work for this. I put in the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears for this. And people are going to feel like it's unfair, but that has nothing to do with you. Okay. That's not, like I said, not for all of you, but you'll know for those that it's meant for. So let's wrap with some advice when it comes to placements. This reading was definitely quite on the deep side. Like I said, all major arcanas opening this reading, including the bottom. Like, that is wild to me. So let's get some closing advice and guidance for Cancer placements, please, for the week ahead. Some of you as well, what I'm getting, a message that just also came, is that some of you, it feels like if this has to do with the job, where some of you were maybe at first like being frowned upon or being like talked about, gossiped about, things like that. It's like some of you are about to be proven that you were actually right the whole time, and then you're going to be bumped up. I feel like some of you may be coming into like a promotion or getting an offer to be promoted, and some of you are going to turn it down and leave instead. It's like you were just there to teach a lesson. You were just there to teach them who they're dealing with or how they do things, is, like there's something wrong with the way they do things in their system. Okay. So beautiful. Jump in is at the bottom. That's interesting. So advice and guidance for the week ahead for my Cancer placements. We have resolution and release. Beautiful. So whatever it is that you've been struggling with is about to be resolved. Remember that resolutions don't always happen in the way we hope or want. Did we not just talk about that earlier? Thank you, Spirit. But being able to move forward and start fresh always brings relief. Start fresh. Weren't we just talking about that? Didn't I say that things don't always happen as we want? Like, things are sometimes they happen really intense. They're really tumultuous. That is what this is talking about. Wow. And then we have release. You're being asked to release any toxic people or situations from your life. You deserve to be free of all drama. And this is the first step to achieving that. Okay. So whatever this ending is here, or that's, ahead for some of you Cancer, is happening because it's supposed to. It's happening to ultimately put you on path to paying. For some of you, this was like a karmic contract that is, ran its course. Okay. And that's what's going to close the cycle for some of you, is once you walk away. For some of you, the karmic contract hasn't closed itself out yet until you detach emotionally. For some of you, it's once you walk away, once you remove your energy from the situation, that's when it officially closes itself out. Okay. Like I said, that's not for all of you, but that is for some of you, where that's where, again, where things get resolved, is when you finally release the energy, when you finally decide, I am free from this. I have moved beyond this. I am healed from this. Not I'm still healing. Even if that's how you feel on the inside, declare that it's done, that it's complete. The task is complete. And that is how you actually get closer to it actually being that way, to having exactly what it is you imagined. Okay. So Cancer, that's what I have for you. I trust that this reading touched and reached those that needed it. I love y'all so much. Again, if you would love to give your feedback on either this reading, how it resonated, or if you guys like the North Node readings, please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on that, and or readings that you guys want to see more of. And yeah, I love you so much. Until next time.